Hi guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda. And yes, we are just doing a quick talk about the press conference today. Hope everyone's having a good bank holiday weekend. It's Friday, Good Friday, and most people will be off at work on Monday as well. So it's 4 days off, and we can enjoy sports, family, and all the good things in life. And so is Mr. B right now enjoying all the good things in life, aren't you, Mr. B?
Oh yes, indeed. Oh yes, indeed. As you can tell from my setting, I'm not quite at home. But sometimes things need to be done. So yeah, jobs need to be done. So yeah, I've departed from where I was for the next half an hour or so, and then I'll go back to partake.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a really quick show, so we can go about our business. We're just covering things that we sort of touched on yesterday, but we didn't have a press conference. Press conference was today. We're just going to go over that, Mr. B. I've got a few things to ask you. Did you see the press conference, by the way?
No, I didn't, but I have read the transcripts of it, so
Okay.
I'm kind of up to date, to be fair.
All right, let's go through it. Big up to DK Wilson. Where's he from today, Mr. B? It was Detroit yesterday.
Yeah, Detroit. All right, you know what? He's from Georgia, Alabama.
Georgia on your mind, no doubt about it. DK Wilson from Georgia. Matthew Bassett as well. It's Friday. He's in the house as well. Hope you're getting ready for your Sunday game. Oh no, you're probably not playing this Sunday, are you? So big up to everyone in the chat.
I've got a game tomorrow.
Yeah, but Saturday's not. It's not a bank holiday, is it?
What is it? What is it? Just a normal day?
So Good Friday's a bank holiday. Sunday's a bank holiday, and maybe Monday as well. Easter Monday.
Oh,
but Saturday seems to be the day off. So
we'll take that.
Game. Matthew Bassett got no game. Big up to Bart as well. He said, "Will the bees sting United's European hopes?" We hope not. We hope not. And there's a great comment yesterday, wasn't it, Mr. B, saying about once they sting you, they're dead, and they stung us a year ago, that 4-0.
Yeah. There you go.
We won't feel that again. Just to update you guys, we met up with the founder of the Man United Agenda. That was Errol Solo today. We had a nice meal as well, and it was a good link up. Don't you think, Mr. B?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know if it was long enough, but yeah, it's good to see people in the flesh sometimes. All of this camera thing, you know what I mean? Like, it was good, man. It was a good link up still, man. We needed it, I think, to be fair.
I mean, we haven't seen Errol for a while in the flesh, so yeah, it was good to buck up with him. We went to Nando's, had some chicken. What do you guys order when you go to Nando's? I was really surprised by some of the orders of these guys. I went for my half chicken with 2 sides and got one of those refillable drinks as well. I was back and forth a couple of times. Hot, and the chicken was hot. Anyway, let's go. Right, let's go to the press conference. Mr. B, so they started the press conference they're really trying to test him. So they're saying, because we got a high from beating Liverpool the other day, the journalist said, is there going to be a full storm again where we had a good game and then we on our face again and following the Liverpool game? And so the manager said, we will be ready. We're back in training and we're going to be prepared for this. So he sort of swiped that side, a bit like you swiped away the hot sauce and went for the mild today.
You know, I'm like, I think at the moment, the press are looking for anything in it. They shouldn't be talking about. That shouldn't be what they're talking about after the game that they've had. But it's just, as I said, it's so negative towards him. It's now becoming. It's now obvious. It's now obvious what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the fact that he swatted it away and didn't take no notice of it, fair play to him. You know, maybe he feels that they are taking, but he can't. He can't. Even if he knows, as soon as he rises to the bait, he's done. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's done. Yeah,
it's like he pauses when he dropped it, because here's a dig, isn't it? And any one of us, if we got that, we'd be like, "What? You know, but biting someone's head off." But he's so composed. He pauses and composes himself before he sort of goes in. So going into like a press conference, you've got to be on your toes, man. Definitely got to be on your toes. Anyway, he's asked players returning and players are back, he said. So from the international break, obviously. And then he touched on about Mainu, because obviously that's the big talking point. We've discussed it 2 or 3 times this week. He said he's not surprised by Mainu's performances at international level. He develops very quickly and he adapts to high levels. So he's very proud. It's a big compliment to the club and to him as well. So he's complimenting the academy and he's complimenting Mainu as well. And he's saying he's adapted really well to high levels quite easily. He also goes on to say it's about managing the hype. He handles it really, really well. This is what the manager's saying. But he did go on to say that if he does cross the line, the management and the coaches will interfere and tell him off. So they're showing here that they're managing him as well. If he does cross the line, meaning if he does start playing the arse or gets big-headed or any kind of bad behaviour, they will interfere and string him up, I imagine. It's good to hear that, isn't it?
Yeah, I you know me, I like not maybe an iron rod, maybe that's the wrong word to use, but I do like a little bit of discipline. So the fact that they're watching him, they're making sure that he doesn't go somewhere where or down a path that maybe he shouldn't be going. Yeah. But do you think that sounds like they're expecting him to do it?
No, but I think they have to keep him on his toes by saying it, remind him, saying, yeah, because when someone gets this high, like performances, high exposure all of a sudden, you have to sort of keep him grounded. So I think it's just saying, it's like the carrot and the stick. You can beat him with a stick if he gets too big for his boots, and then seduce him with the carrot of a new contract, which I think they were talking about recently, or sort of giving him good compliments as well. So I think he's really come on leaps and bounds. And the main thing is the manager. What I really liked what he says here, and I think you have to give credit to the manager. He's doing things really well, speaks really well, saying the right things. We're going to keep him grounded. If he does start getting big-headed, we're there to pull him up and make him a better player and a better person by not being stupid like we've seen in the past with some other players that have gone to their heads, not to name names, but we know certain players in recent times who, blown up, got really good, and suddenly they think they're all that, and it's not really right. A couple comments here, Mr. B. Garnacho may be exhausted from travel. He has started at least the last 25 games. Maybe sub him if you're a leader in a half hour. Well, how do you feel about that?
What I will say to Bart is anything you say, Bart, I absolutely take no notice of, because I know there's some underlying current to it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So no, Bart, he's travelled, he's had a rest, he's not going to be jet lagged. He didn't go to a blues and was drinking Ray and Nephew all night, and now he's suddenly turned up to play a game of football. He would have had a couple of days rest. So, I would like to think that Ten Hag isn't stupid enough to put these guys at 100-mile-an-hour training once they've come back. So no, I'm not worried about him. And the fact that it's a 8 p.m. game means that they can relax. Though I don't know how everything would change in regards to preparation. But no, I have no problem with Garnacho. I think maybe the second game or the third game is more likely to be in this week that we've got, may well likely to be. But the first one, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Okay. It's all about squad management, isn't it? Bart saying here, give Mason Mount a game at centre midfield or Cam or on the wings in order to rest Mainu. So there's another player here who can take his place. Garnacho has a quarter of a game. Ericsson needs some game time too. He's also saying here, Ten Hag dealt with with uber talented youngsters before. So trust him to bring in Mainu properly. So as we were saying here with the quote from the press conference from the manager, he will interfere if he sort of gets too big for his boots in a way. Emma, how you doing, Emma? She's saying here they had to keep Garnacho in check, players and management. Yeah, so there's the comparison. Mainu seems to be well grounded, but someone like Garnacho, not saying it's a good thing, but he seems a bit more enthusiastic and a bit wild. We saw the party with the midgets. Is
that what we're seeing from it? Because Garnacho could be I don't know what he could be less than Mainu. I don't know what the word is, but you understand. He could be less front page than Mainu, but because he did his Instagram post or he dyes his hair blonde, you know what I mean? And what you've got to think of as well is he's probably over here, not saying he's over here on his own, he probably is with his mum and dad, but he's having a baby. The chances are he's not living with his mum and dad. So he has to now be a man, because he's Mainu. I don't know him, but I can see Mainu's still living at home with his mum. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe he's got his own pad in Salford or wherever, but I see him as being a more homely kind of guy, you know what I mean? But Garnacho's had to move from he was Spain. We got him from Spain, didn't we? So he's had to uproot from there, you know what I mean? So
And
We'll see.
I also agree, Mr. B, you can't take characters out of the game. If someone's got a bit of a character and he's a bit, Garnacho, I don't know if he's a wild boy, but he's dyed his hair. He's had a bit of a wild party. Yeah, who knows? But as long as they're professional, you just got to manage everyone. Everyone's got different personalities.
Yeah.
So big up to Jackie. How you doing, Jackie? Lovely to see you again. I saw Jackie earlier on a live. She's saying Mainu's football is beyond. Mainu is football mature beyond his years. Great lad. So I don't think Jackie's got any concerns about him. Hi says we deserve better. We're both well, and Errol's well as well. Big up to Tyrone Williams. How you doing, Tyrone? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well, bro. I only think that Fatty and Pedri, as they look shattered, seem to be picking up niggles now and then. They play a lot, and they're young players as well. Weezer better saying here, did you notice Ten Hag had some injections around his eyes and forehead? He was looking a few years younger. His line's much softer. I don't know about that, but maybe.
The thing that people notice is
maybe there's a cream that women you have called Oil of Ulay. It's like make you look younger. Oil of Ulay back in the day. Maybe he's been putting some of that on. But
I don't think it's back in the day. I'm sure Oil of Ulay's still about on Monday.
You reckon? I haven't seen it for years.
I don't know. Guys, say guys in the chat. The guys probably not going to know. But if there's a couple of ladies in the chat, Oil of Ulay. And guess what? You know what? The men might buy it for their missus. So guess what, guys? Does Oil of Ulay still exist? This is the question that we're asking. Just a random one.
Did it work, by the way? Because maybe that's next season. Kobe Mainoo's performance has been impressive, says Tyrone, for Man United this season. No doubt about it. Surrounding these youngsters with good role models and pros is a must. Great comment. They shouldn't become starters by default come August. Okay, big up Tyrone. Guys, I don't know, but Tyrone's doing a lot of acting work and things like that. So he's saying he's keeping himself busy. Self-tapes coming up this year, so keep him busy. All the best, Tyrone, for everyone at Man United agenda, and obviously personally as well. Wish you all well, man. You're talented. Did Mainoo's call-up come too soon? He's only finished 18 games. We discussed this the other day. I think it's okay. And Mainoo's good breeding is very evident in the way.
What? The only people asking that question are Liverpool supporters because of what's the Oompa Loompa that they've got in their team. That's it's only Liverpool fans who are mad. Bruv, Tottenham, I've been chatting to Tottenham, man. I've been even talking to Arsenal, man.
Yeah.
And they understand it's only Liverpool fans who are salty that Mainu is in the team ahead of their boy. It's incredible. It is incredible.
Oh boy, Mainu, man, big up DK Wilson, big up We Deserve Better. All right, moving on. So this is the press conference. We just touched on a few points. It said about managing the hype. We said about that, and he said it's fun for him. So as long as the players having fun and it's fun, this is the manager saying about Ten Hag saying about Mainu. He said it's fun for him. He's still enjoying it, so which is good to see. Whether it's training, whether it's the games, he's taking it in stride. He doesn't seem phased, does he? He's got a really calm demeanor. So Luke Shaw was brought up next, Mr. B. Now, this is something I want you to answer, because I know you've had a lot of you've spoken a lot about Luke Shaw this season. So Luke Shaw, the manager says in the press conference, we expect to have him back because Southgate said earlier this week that he doesn't expect Luke Shaw to feature for the rest of the season. So Ten Hag said today we expect him back, and he's back on schedule. And he should be back before the end of the season. So with like the FA Cup coming up, if we get to the final, with the crunch games towards the end of the season, is Luke Shaw a big miss? And are you looking forward to having him back?
The teams we play better when Luke Shaw plays. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah,
he's been injured far too much this season for my liking, and maybe it's probably going to get worse next season. Another year older, but. With the England situation, I'm not sure he would be able to play the whole tournament, as in the left back in every game that they play.
Okay.
I just don't think his body will hold it on Monday. And the fact that he's been injured a couple of times this season, not one. I think it's a couple of times he's been injured for a block of games. I'm not sure Southgate will be able to rely on him. Okay. The priority is us. The priority is Manchester United, so we have to get fit for us. But I already know that those players in the back of their mind are thinking, I don't want to get injured. I'm going to get selected for the Euros. You saw what Grealish was like when he got injured the other day. He just started crying straight away. He wasn't crying because he's going to miss a game for Man City. He's crying because he's going to miss a game in the Euros. You know what I mean? So the carrot for Luke Shaw is to get himself fit so that he can go to, because guaranteed if he's fit, he's going to go. But Chilwell the other day, I wasn't impressed with at all.
Really?
I wasn't impressed with Chilwell at all. And if that's the drop off,
yeah,
then I understand why he wants Luke Shaw to go.
Okay. Bart's saying here that does Luke Shaw deserve a testimonial in the summer? He's been there a long time, isn't he? Luke Shaw gets a new contract and then down tools every time. Injury, Scal, Mingri, what are they saying there? He has had 2 good seasons in 10.5 years. So, wow, yeah. I mean, this is how fans feel, though, don't they? I mean, look, he hasn't been like consistent. We have to admit he hasn't been consistent. But we've got Wan-Bissaka, as we discussed yesterday, and he can play at left back, and maybe he can play left back for England as well.
There's no way, if he's not getting in at right back, there's no way he's getting in at left back. I mean, he'll do a job at left back for us. I think he's going to be left back for us tomorrow, in the game.
Yeah.
But
we're talking about the game tomorrow. Obviously, they brought up that result, that 4-0 result, which was like a slap in the face for Ten Hag early on in his reign as Manchester United manager. Now, that was a tough game to take, but after that, we showed a bit of character, and they brought it up, and he said, this was a long time ago. This is the manager saying 4-0 was a long time ago. We've come on for sure since then with our mentality and improvements in all areas. But there was a concern, Mr. B, when we play in Brentford. They are masters at set pieces, and the manager acknowledged that as well and said, we know they are masters of set plays and we have to be ready. But he's also saying that we're improving our set plays as well. Do you see us improving our set plays?
No, I don't. I don't see us improving at all on Monday. You look at Arsenal and the amount of goals that they've scored from corners and stuff. I don't think we've improved. We might have improved defending them, but I don't think we've improved executing and scoring from set pieces. No, we're not. I don't think we're ready for that yet.
But I think with Brentford, one thing's clear, because I saw data. I was looking at some data the other day, and a lot of Premiership clubs are using, rather than just lobbing the ball into the box, there's short corners are becoming a thing now, where you're having short corners, and there's no difference between the success rate of short corners and flinging the ball in a direct corner.
Okay.
So there's no real difference. But they did say Man United are one of the top sides for shorter corners, but still, there's no difference in what we're doing. With Brentford, for example, they work on this because they know with the talent or the lack of talent they have, maybe individually talent, that's a good start way of them to score their goals. So they work double hard on set pieces. They've got big players. They bully people in the box. So definitely, it's going to be a factor tomorrow. Does this mean like we need to sort of play certain players? Is this like McTominay? Is he a factor, or say like a big centre back? Is this where the importance comes in?
I mean, I would like to think we're not going to be playing Scott McTominay because Brentford are good at set pieces. I would hate to think that was the reason why he was playing.
Yeah.
But you can understand why if we're that worried about it, I could understand why. I just feel that it's Brentford we're playing.
Yeah.
It's bloody Brentford. I think we should have enough about us that Scott McTominay has to be that guy who comes off the bench.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Just talking about the return, because I think the thumbnail said return of Martinez. Now, this was mentioned, obviously, and said Martinez, there's a chance he will be back in the squad, which is really good news for us. Now, this is the manager just summed it up really quite easy for me. He said, when asked about Martinez, this is what he said. He said he's got composure, calmness, and a winning attitude, and this contributes a lot to our team. I mean, and he's really sort of enthusiastic when he was talking about Martinez. Martinez is a big player for us, don't you think? With those attributes, it means a lot. And the composure and calmness means when he's got the ball and helping us build up from the back, he gives us that sort of stability as well and good composure when we got the ball. So I think he's a big player for us. Do you think he's like a big miss with the way he plays his football and
Huge.
his mentality.
OMONDI, we've got nobody in the team who replicates him.
Yeah.
We've got nobody in the team who plays like him. So yeah, of course, him not being here is going to kill us. Ten Hag brought a specific style of centre back.
Yeah.
And we don't have that. So him being out for so long, I think it's killed us. All right, everybody's going to say, oh, it's only one player and he's a defender, but we can't play high up the pitch. You know, I don't know how fast he is, but for whatever reason, when he doesn't play, we don't play high. But I don't see him being really fast. So I don't get why the team can't play the same way when Martinez isn't playing. Okay. And that's what I feel is detrimental to what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to press, but he drops off. It's not logical what he's doing or what's happening in game.
Yeah.
And it can't just, I would hate to think it's because Martinez is injured.
Right.
Why he doesn't trust the rest of them to have to run back or have to chase back. But it could be that. That one player, that one cog in the machine.
It was a big miss, isn't it? I mean, like we had Holland was out and he was a guy scoring goals, and Martinez has been out as well. So when we have got our players back, we want to see a better performance for sure. And
definitely,
yeah, with these guys, Mount, Shaw, Martinez, Holland, there's 4 players there. Just top on top. I'm just thinking of. Obviously, you've got Malacia has been out for a long time. Ericsson was mentioned in the comments there. These are all top players, and they're coming back into the side. So over the next 9 days, when we end up playing Chelsea and Liverpool as well, we want to see these guys feature, get a bit of squad rotation and team management to manage these players, even though they're professional or fit. We want peak performances in each of these games. That's so important, isn't it, Mr. B?
We do. I mean, I don't think we've had much proper performances this season, and now all of a sudden we're at the business side of the season. We don't need a support.
Yeah.
But no, I want to see a win and a performance on Monday. I would like to have both. You know, we haven't had any hardly this season, and we're still in a half decent position. So yeah, I want to see both tomorrow. I want to see both tomorrow.
2 questions for you. Obviously, Anthony Herbert's in the house. He said, well, where are you up to? He's probably saying, what are you up to? Because obviously Mr. B's in his car. He looks like he's all spruced up. I can smell the aftershave from here. What are you up to? and the other question you asked is, are you doing a watch-along tomorrow?
Well, there's no way. I'm doing a watch-along tomorrow. Yeah, 100%. 8 o'clock. That's the perfect watch-along time. And yeah. Anthony, you know these sorts. I'm just not at home. But I have work to do, so I'm here doing the work.
Yes, big up to Solo. The 3 amigos met up today and had a bite to eat in Nando's. So it was lovely to see you, Solo. Big up, enough respect as always. I mean, yeah, just going back to the comments before we wound this up. Tyron was saying that Mainu, obviously there's been comparisons with Seedorf. Ferdinand mentioned it. A lot of people are saying it. We talked about that before as well. He's a quality player. Seedorf, obviously, because he started young and was performing at a high level at a young age as well. Are you in your Datsun Cherry? Mini cabins and Andy Herbert. Big up and get some hearts from Solo, no doubt. We usually get hearts and a fist from Solo, but he's showing more love this day. Jaylee saying here, isn't there daylight saving in UK tomorrow?
The clock's off. Are they going forward? Is it tomorrow?
No, it'll be on Sunday. They spring forward in the summer, and this time spring forward in the spring and fall back in the fall. So they should be going forward if they are tomorrow. I'm not sure.
We lose an hour.
Mr. B, are you in an interrogation room? It looks like you're in an interrogation room.
I'm in my car.
You snitch. All right, guys. So don't forget, Mr. B is going to be on doing a watch along tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for that, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We just talked briefly about the press conference. If you want to catch up about the preview show, check that out. That was on yesterday. We went into more detail, but the clocks go forward, spring forward for sure in the spring. That's on Sunday. So less sleep. We get less hours. Yeah, we get less sleep.
Hour. Yeah.
But anyway, guys, we're going to sign out. We got things to do, but hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow for the watch along and the post match show as well. We've got Stuart Marshall jumping on as well. Going to give him a link a bit later.
Lovely, lovely.
Stuart Marshall. So from Mr. B and from myself, we're signing out. Good night.